another day. It is a Saturday. It's gonna be a short day for Christmas light work, but hopefully I'll be able to get at least the tree done, ready to go. We're going up to Aguero today to visit with some family, but hopefully I can get the tree done and get that accomplished. And then once we get home tonight, I'm gonna finish wiring up everything. And because Sunday I want the light show running Sunday night, and I'm leaving to go out of town again on Monday all week, so I need to have everything wired up by tonight. It's my goal. I didn't show it yesterday, forgot to, but basically this is how I tied the ropes. Get the blue rope coming across, and then I just used the slack off the actual line rope and tied it from the tower to the blue rope as tight as I could. And then obviously the weight and the tension of the lights are pulling that rope up, but it's getting that right angle that I need. And let's go down. I just finished. Let's go down and take a look. There it is. Maybe a little skinnier than I wanted to have it, but it'll do. I'm not changing it now. But that project is done again. We got our tree up and all the decorations on. We got a little unique star that's actually hanging from the ceiling. Pick this up, I think, at Target. They have one at IKEA as well. Figured it'd be a little bit different. And Stephanie has definitely been hard at work in here with our Christmas decorations. She made this last year. We did that this year. Getting out all of our decorations. I had some of these, which I think are really cool. They're only like $1 at IKEA. It clips onto the light strand. We had some clippings from our tree, so she made this by the front door, which is cool. Let's see what else. And something going up here. Put another piece of the tree down here. Still gotta clean up a little bit, but she made these out of popsicle sticks. She got the light up here. Got a kid's art wall. And obviously that's where the Marion Bright sign went. And then she made these bottles. If you look at the Joy bottle. And that sign, she made that. So. All right, it is Sunday, and today is the day we are going to be up and running tonight. That is my goal, and I think I can do that. We didn't get home till after midnight last night, so I didn't come out here and test some of the lights and get them all plugged in. So that's what I'm working on first thing today. It's gonna be a little more difficult doing it in the daylight. Just harder to see the lights when they come on, but it should work. After I get the lights plugged in, I gotta hook up the tree, which is gonna be the easy part because I already labeled all the plugs. Gotta clean up the yard. I might do a Marty fan over the window here. Just kind of getting the house all cleaned up, or the outside of the house all cleaned up, ready for the show tonight. And then I've got to finish and do some software, some programming. I got to build the show, things like that. So it's gonna be a full day for me. So I got a little sidetracked today, but took a quick trip to the beach. So, had a nice day, but calling it quits now. We're going to pack it up and head back to finish doing Christmas lights. All right, you probably can't see much of anything. We got the family up on the roof. I'm getting eaten up by bugs. Family up on the roof, hot gluing the C9s to the peak, so they're all straight. I'm hooking up all the extension cords. I only have 2 more to run, and I'll be done, which is this tree and this tree over here. And I've got to hook up the extension cord for the peak when they're done with that, but it's coming together. What are you guys doing?
Gluing these to the thing so it points up.
The lights to the roof so they stick up.
Wow, you're doing an excellent job.
Hold this one.
Ow.
You have 2 hands, you know.
I know.
I'm holding the roofs.
We got the exchange where it's plugged in, huh?
Yeah.
well, I'm all plugged. All my extension cords are plugged up. I just run my Ethernet cables. That's where I'm going to be. Right. Well, almost embarrassed to show you this, but I'm going to have to make this work for now. And then when I get to the store to buy a longer Ethernet cable, I'll fix it. This device here, the USB to the Ethernet, is going to have to be outside, right outside my bedroom window, right where my computer is. I have taped it up with some electrical tape, but my Ethernet cord was literally, 6 feet too short. So I've got to get a new Ethernet cord, but until I do so, this is how I'm going to hook it up so I can get it running tonight. So again, we run an Ethernet cord from the computer to any of the 4 boxes. In this case, 4 boxes. If any of your boxes, doesn't matter if it's number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm just shining the light at myself, so that's the only thing you can see. And then it daisy chains from box 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 in this case. So it doesn't matter which order you go as long as they're all hooked up. They do have the wireless devices you can get so they can communicate wirelessly, which would be really nice to have right now. But keep in mind where you're going to place your boxes and how much Ethernet cord you will need to hook up your boxes. Alright, now I've got my green cord is coming in from box 1, coming into this box, and my yellow cord is coming out of this, going into the second box right over here. Now, tricky part is to get all these cords out of the way so I can shut this box. So, and then I'll show you in just a second what I'm doing. I get the 2 cords going in there. This one here, hopefully, will be long enough to come up. There's a little hole right here that your data cords come through, and then it just plugs in to these 2 jacks. One of the 2 jacks, doesn't matter which one. And the light's still blinking because we're not sunk with the new computer. Make sure it's closed up nice and tight. And all our Ethernet cords are. Okay, we're doing the same thing I showed you before, but we're doing the desktop again. Auto configure showed it on COM 10. I went ahead and reduced this max unit ID and refresh. Now, oh, damn it. Got to make sure all your boxes are plugged in, and right now I don't have, but I have 3 boxes plugged in, so I gotta go run out and plug in that 4th box. Alright, as you can see, while I was out, I'm plugging that in and found 3 units, so let's go ahead and refresh. It should find 4 units now that I've got all 4 of them plugged in. Alright, now with all 4 boxes plugged in, we found 4 units. And remember, before we labeled each unit 1, 2, 3, 4. This is very important that you have your boxes labeled accordingly. So we got all 4 boxes here. Now, if we wanted to, I could, go to the console, depending on what box 1, 2, 3, or 4, and adjust this if I needed to do that, which I will because I do have some lights that are out. But that basically is good. This is the first step when it comes to setting up your, getting ready to start your show. You only have to do this once though. Alright, one of the next most important steps before you can actually, your computer will program, when your computer will control your lights is come to your start menu, hit all programs, you want to go to Lightorama, and you want to start up the control panel. And the control panel will basically run and bring up your control panel in your, right here, in your Lightorama. In your toolbox. Okay, so if we click on that, it'll bring up this box. I had already done it, but your basically control panel is showing you what you're doing. Right now it says scheduled play is off. That's the status of your boxes right now. If you right click on this, it'll come up with this menu, and this will enable you to do some on-demand features like show on demand, enable schedule. You're gonna have to, once you get a schedule done, you're gonna have to make sure you enable the schedule so it'll come on at a certain time, at its designated time. But schedule or show on demand is where you would go if you want to go ahead and start your show right now. Start as soon as possible. You can start at a specific time. This is for a one-time show on demand kind of thing, and then end until I stop, so it'll continue to run, or you can set a stop time. So this is something special you would do just at one time. Now, most of you might not have this problem, but I want to share it just in case you guys do. I save just about every show that I have ever done, and I do it in different folders and things to that nature. So let me show you. When I got basically I opened up my sequence editor. I'm going to go ahead and file. I'm going to open it. And especially since I'm jumping from computer to computer to do a lot of programming, you want to make sure that before you set up your show, that your computer knows when, where the media file is. So in this case, Chestnuts Roosting on an Open Fire, my favorite Christmas song, is going to be my show closer. So I pop it up. Here's just a generic. All my lights come on at half intensity for the whole song. But regardless, if I try to play this, it's going to say cannot find media file. Now keep in mind that it's saying this because I programmed it on the laptop computer and I brought it here and I transferred all the files over to this computer, but this computer doesn't know where the media file is. So while you're in your sequence editor, you want to come up here, and to make sure that this is all done, I had this problem my first year where I had transferred computers and blah blah blah, and I went to go start my show and it wouldn't play because it couldn't find the media file. It took me a while to figure it out, but you want to go up to actually Tools, I think it is, and you come down here to where it says actually I don't think it's Edit, and you go to Media File. Now this is Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. I've got these all the documents saved in a specific folder under my desktop. 2015 Christmas. I got under the music, and where is it at? There it is, right there. All right, and selected that. Now when I play this, it's analyzing the media file. All right. Now when I play this, it plays the actual song. All right. Now don't forget, you want to go ahead and save. Alright, now every time you open up this sequence, or every time the computer opens up this song to play it, it'll know where the media file is and it'll know what to do. You want to make sure that you do that for every single song before you start your show. Alright, just make sure you do that. Also, I want to show you, guys, this one little thing that's pretty cool that you need to know what to do, especially if you're still in here programming your lights and things like that while your computer's hooked up to your boxes. If you come to play, and you see the light is clicked on Control Lights, meaning if I'm in here editing this or doing whatever, my lights are actually going on outside. So if you don't want that to happen, make sure you shut this and click it off, so it doesn't control the lights. You also have this little button here, which is your lights off button. So if for whatever reason your lights are on, you stop a show in the middle, you can actually flip this and click the lights to turn all the lights off. So just keep that in mind when you're in here farting around with your stuff. Now that I've gotten all my media files, again, I'm not done. I still have some programming to do. I've got only 4 songs completely 100% done. So I'm going to be adjusting that. But I'm going to go show you this now because I want to go ahead and get something going on out there. I'm going to go to All Programs. I'm going to go to Lightorama. And I'm going to go to Show Editor. Now there's a simple show builder, which I don't like. If you go to show editor, it'll bring you up this box. And this is where you can create your show. Now, you got to keep in mind you have tabs up here. You've got background, startup, animation, musical, interactive, and shutdown. Now, depending on your licensing software, it'll depend on what you can do up here. Now, keep in mind that animation and musical are usually the only two that are used in most cases. Musical is anything that you've programmed to a song. Animation is any kind of programming you've done to no music, just your lights dancing to nothing. Alright, so you want to make, in this case, I only have musical sequences. So I'm going to go ahead and select musical. And keep in mind it gives you a couple options here. Turn use lights off at the end of each sequence. My lights all go off anyway, but that's a good idea. If your song ends with any of your lights on, and there's any kind of space or gap between songs, sometimes your lights will stay on. So if you click this, it'll make sure to turn off everything before your next song starts. You can say play in order, play shuffled, it doesn't matter. And then you've got a cleanup sequence that you can program also if you have any issues you want to make sure things stay on timing. So in this case, we just went ahead and hit plus, and it's going to bring up my folder. This is my 2013 show. So if you go to desktop, 2015, sequences, done. These are the ones I've got done. I think it'll let me select all 4 of them and hit open. And in this case, yeah, it just puts them in 4. Okay, and then basically that is what you're going to do. Now, it will continue to play these, in this case, 4. I mean, I plan on having at least 10 or so songs this year, but in this case, if I just did this, it'll play these 4 songs over and over and over and over again until I set it to stop. All right. If you want more specific, detailed order of how you want your lights to go, what songs you want to go, you can continue to add the same song as many times as you want. You can have Charlie Brown play 16 times in a row, and then change it or whatever. I've done that before when I wanted specific songs to come on at specific times. I just knew what time my show was coming on, how long each song was, and then I planned it out accordingly in this show. So it's up to you whether you want to do it. But after you do that, you want to go ahead and click Save As, and it's going to create a file. I'm going to go and keep it under Done, and we'll go 2015 show. All right, and save this. Now this is not necessarily, that's just the show, the order of the show. Now I've got to go to my schedule builder and then put that schedule or that show in the schedule. All right, so it's building a schedule. Start, all programs, Lightorama. We're going to go to schedule editor. All right, it comes up with this window. You can go ahead and add and bring up the box, and what we're going to do is you're going to click the file button, browse button. We're going to go to desktop, wherever that may be. Where is my desktop? There it is. Desktop 2015. Sequences done. There's my show I just programmed. All right, now it tells me when do you want to start this. Now here it gets dark around, let's say 6 o'clock. Make sure you have PM and AM set right. And I want the show to run until 10 o'clock PM. And I want that to run 7 days a week at the same time. Now keep in mind that if you wanted your show to run a little later on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, just don't check these boxes. Just do Monday through Thursday, add it, and then go back and do the same thing and add Friday and Saturday. And I'll probably do that, but for right now, I don't care. So I'm just going to add this. And it tells me the start time you've chosen conflicts with another show. It doesn't make any sense. And this is why. So if I come down here to my schedule, I should have checked this before. My 2013 show is still programmed here. So what I'm going to have to do is go ahead and delete these shows. Okay, individually. And now that I've done that real quick, it does put down here in the schedule from 6 to 10. 2015 show, Monday through Friday. Now, like I said before, you want to make sure you come down here to your toolbar, right click on the Lightorama symbol, and then you want to just go up here where it says Enable Schedule. Now since it's after 6 o'clock or Lightorama, we'll go ahead and start up the 2015 show. And if you can hear, it's starting that show. So let's go outside and see if the lights are going, hopefully. And even though I know how my speakers run, and I've got some lights out, as you can tell, I still have to clean up some things. So I'm going to be busy tonight. You can see my lights are going, and they're looking good. All right, well, just to kind of catch you up with what I've done so far. Oh, man. It's way too hot to be putting up Christmas lights. Anyway, it is 9 o'clock. I've got all the extension cords run. I've tested the system, as you saw. I still have some lights out. I broke for dinner, and then I came back. I ran my speakers for my sound out front. I do have a FM transmitter. However, it's extremely old and not working the greatest. So I need to get a new one of those. I'll hook it up, but I like to pump music out the front of the house so people can just listen to it without having to have a radio. And I want to show you what I'm doing. I'm finishing up what the family started with getting these bulbs to stand straight up. This way they can see from all angles. As you can see, I've done all this over here. They did all that, and all the way up to about here. I'm almost done. And basically, just get a cheap little, this is a low temp hot glue gun, and I'm just see if I can do this. Just put a dab of the hot glue, and then I stick it. Wait a couple seconds, and it holds. And just move on to the next one. Now, hot glue, I used in a previous video last year, the year before I think it was, I used hot glue to basically fasten these C7s or C9 bulbs to the side of my house. And when I took them off at the end of the season, in some places it took off the stucco or the paint or whatever you want to call it, so it left some marks. Being that these are shingles, we'll see what they do, but I don't believe that they're going to do any damage to the roof. It's the first time I've hot glued anything to the roof, but it seems to be holding well. Just going to make sure that your roof is dry. That's one of the reasons I've waited so long to do this, because every time I go to do it, the roof has been wet because it's been raining so much. And I'm assuming it's better to do it when the roof is cold, because this glue will melt. And that's another test. We'll test and see how well it sticks through the day. When it gets really hot in the day and the shingles heat up, the glue might melt, but we'll see. But that's it, they're all done. Now I'm going to turn on the roof, just the roof channels, and I'm going to test those out, make sure everything's working, fix all that stuff. And then I gotta do the same thing with the pillars, and that's about it. And then once I get that going up, since I got my speakers on, I'll get a good test. Back in my makeshift little doohickey here. Good news is I found my other Ethernet cord. I knew I had, I just didn't know where it was. I found it when I was searching for my speaker wires. So it's long enough to go in there, so I can go ahead and disconnect this, put this inside. I don't have to worry about the weather getting to it. So I'm gonna do that right now. Well, there it is. All the lights are fixed.